right now, a much needed one. This happens in relationships, but I'm not dead. Just very upset right now, but
I'm gonna hit that camera right on your hand.
Do it. It'll come out of your YouTube paycheck. Ow, 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 wrist!
Quite disappointing, but here it is. He spit on her and called her a C-word. Constantly acted like she was a sexual object. Financially took advantage of her. Threatened to kill her if she acted out of line. Wouldn't allow her to hang out with friends or do anything that he wasn't involved in. At one point, he wouldn't even let her tag her sister in pictures because he didn't want her to get any of the followers. Forced her to lie about her car. He wouldn't allow her to go to parties with him because he wouldn't get hit on as much. Told her that the dogs do more than her and nothing she did was right. Called her worthless and put every problem of his onto her. Here's a part 2 to my last video. He made her cry her freaking eyes out at her birthday. Wouldn't even come to her birthday party because he's too good or whatever. And he forgot her birthday the first time. He forced her to not be able to hang out with her family and really drove like a knife in between her relationship with her parents and her siblings. He has been going out and has a separate Instagram, so he hasn't been sad like he said he's been. He hasn't even said sorry, but he has been with a bunch of other girls. And personally, to me, he forced her to ditch me on my birthday, so that was real sweet. And I know this may come to a shock to most of y'all, but I'm sorry.
It was always Gabrielle's fault. And that's the main thing in the relationship. Everything was Gabrielle's fault. She's like the nicest, sweetest person ever. Like, everyone I know likes Gabrielle. My whole family loves Gabrielle. And Jack just treated her like crap. And then this is what really, really got to me. We get to dinner and we went to like a nice place, like $15, $20 per person type of place. It was like hibachi where they cook in front of you. And Jack was expecting Gabrielle to pay and he was like, who pays in your relationship? And I was like, well, I'm the one who makes the money and I don't want Dallin to get a job because he helps me with my videos all the time. So typically I pay for us, not always, but most of the time. And then Jack was just like arguing with that. Like, he was like, no, it doesn't make sense, like you need to take turns, which I totally agree with. But this is like a different situation because Jack was doing the same thing that me and Dallin were doing. Like, we were always filming together, and so it was kind of like our money and it was our YouTube channel almost, even though it still was like mine. Well, Jack was doing that same thing, except he wasn't letting Gabrielle reap the financial benefit. He was expecting her to pay when they went out, but she didn't have a job. Gabrielle's job was to help Jack with his YouTube channel, but then she has to pay for dinner with what money? You know? Like, I don't know, that just really made me mad because he was just getting mad at her and then expecting her to do all this stuff, and it just was a mess. But anyway, pretty much every time we hung out with him after that, it was the same thing, like just arguing, him expecting so much of her for no reason, and it was always her fault. So I'll get into this later, but we went on a trip to the Dominican Republic together, and we stayed in these tree houses, and my brother was in charge of it, and he put our tree houses next to each other since we were friends, and all we ever heard was Jack yelling at Gabrielle. Like, me and Dallin would be like, this is kind of awkward, like we just like hear everything. He was always just yelling at her, getting mad at her, you didn't do the thumbnail right, you need to do this for a video, this, that, whatever. And I have so much more that goes. Jack is a businessman. He is a very good businessman. But that's all YouTube is to him, and that's all this has ever been to him. On numerous occasions, literally every time I've hung out with Jack, oh, I'm just milking YouTube, like, I only post it if it's gonna get views, like, I won't post something unless I know it's gonna make me money, I'm just gonna do it until everyone hates me or my YouTube channel dies, and then I'm gonna quit, like, I don't really care, I'm just trying to make as much money as I could. And it always made me feel so awkward because I do YouTube because I love doing YouTube.
My perspective on Jack. I basically told Jack I was gonna do this video, but the main thing that he wanted in this video was to make sure that, you know, I wasn't talking bad about Gabrielle, or I wasn't talking bad about anybody involved in this whole situation. The goal of my video is to not come on here and, you know, bash people. I'm not really the kind of person that does that stuff. You know, I don't partake in that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on what I really have to say. So basically, Jack has been absolutely miserable ever since him and Gabrielle broke up. I'm a friend that comes over, you know, a couple times a week. We hang out, you know, do what boys do, play some video games online together and stuff. The past couple weeks, he's just been like really quiet and really just upset and sad because one, he has all these people coming at him online, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and it's just, it really brings a person down when all of this negative stuff is being said about them that's not true. And for the people that don't know, this is one of the hardest things Jack has ever went through in life. Him and Gabrielle made great content for their fans. They love their fans. I even love seeing them together.
Possible. This is likely going to be 2 parts because there's a whole lot of stinky bull in this video. So not all of it, you know. I'm not going to lie. Gabrielle and I have fought. I've said things I regret. I've done things I regret. But to suggest that I'm this absolute monster is just disgusting and a total reach and a embarrassing, pathetic, desperate attempt to get some viewership. And then as soon as you start getting it, of course it gets hate, and then you delete the video and then blame me. Very interesting. But that's the most hostility you will get from me in this entire video. But so in the beginning of the video, she says that she knows me well. Besides her wedding that I went to like 6 months ago, I had not seen her since our Dominican Republic trip, which was last summer. So to suggest that we know each other, considering I also only hung out with you a maximum of 5 times over all of high school, to suggest that we know each other well is not true. She then goes on to say that there are so many bad things happening to my ex and basically implies that they're my fault. I don't understand what you're talking about. I was off social media for 4 months. When I came back, I made a video saying I'm alive, made another video only talking highly of Gabrielle, and then made 2 videos saying that I didn't cheat. I was only going to make 1, but then people were still calling me out saying I was lying, so I made another one addressing the fake cheating texts, which I still don't know who did, but as I start to pay attention a little more, it becomes more and more clear who made those texts. I did not spread any rumors. I did not get my friends involved. I did not get my family involved, although I guarantee you my friends and family certainly wanted to be involved, but I've done a very good job of keeping them quiet, keeping them mature and out of this situation, because no one should also be in this situation. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate people sticking up for their friends. I think that's very respectable, but when you do that with no merit, and I was never consulted, no one came to me asking for my side. I haven't talked to this person since their wedding, and before that had been about since last summer. So I don't know what's going on here. I of course didn't expect this. I feel attacked. I feel plotted against. This was clearly planned and thought through for a very, very long time. But I'm going to let my dogs bark at whatever is walking in front of our window and address her claims. I'm going to do my best to not give anyone any clout from this situation, because it is very apparent to me that many people are trying to do that. And that bothers me, so I'm not going to really play into that. And I'm also not here to tear anyone down. I'm not here to expose anyone. I'm only defending my friend. She then goes on to claim that she never saw me with Gabrielle at parties. I assume she's referring to high school. This is for many reasons, one of which, when I'd see you at parties, for one, I only saw you like a maximum of 5 times throughout my entire high school experience, but also you went to a different school. My ex didn't have very many friends there. She was also not very social anyways, and her parents were rather strict. We've said this and acknowledged this and brought this up many times over the course of years of making content together. Also, you know this, what the f are you talking about? She then goes on a very long rant about how I did not post a video of us together from 4 years ago. The reason I didn't post this vlog, and I know you know this, but I'm telling the audience this because they obviously don't know this because you did not bring this up in your video, was because when we went to do this vlog, we were with a bunch of people, and the whole point was to give gifts to sick kids. When I say sick kids, I don't mean like, ooh, they have the flu. I'm talking, these kids are going to die, and we were bringing them gifts. And you really want me to put my camera, get them in the background for the thumbnail, say smile? No, I wasn't going to do that. We had this conversation in the car, and that's why I didn't post the video. It seemed wrong. And also, Can you guys tell this guy to stop calling me sometimes? Good lord. Also, the guy that set the whole thing up, that wanted us to vlog this, was about to promote music soon, and was basically, in my opinion, trying to use her and I to make a video in order for him to look good, because of course he was in it a lot, considering he was the one that always wanted to carry the gifts. I saw right through that bullshit. It felt wrong. I wasn't gonna post the video. Next, she complains about another video from like 4 years ago that I did with my friend and her friend. So it was us four. So it was my friend, me, her friend. The video sucked, okay? My friend was very uncomfortable. Her friend was very uncomfortable. I had just recently introduced my ex as my girlfriend on the channel. She didn't even want me to do a video with another girl. So at this point, it's just me and her, but she was very loud, very annoying, and only drank pickle juice. And as funny as I guess she considered that, I didn't think it was very funny. I didn't even attempt to edit the video. I didn't realize this was an issue. I honestly forgot about it, and I'm sorry. She implies that the reason I didn't post these videos was because she was a smaller YouTuber, and then also, you know, reiterates multiple times that she doesn't care, yet she's been bringing it up for the last 5 minutes in this video. But the thing is, I was probably 5 times your channel size at the time. I didn't care. I didn't care. I just didn't like the videos that you were in because they weren't good. But later on, whenever I'm literally 10xing your numbers, at this point you are getting about 10,000 views and I'm getting about 250,000 views, so actually 25x. At that point we went to the Dominican and I put you in every single vlog, if I can remember correctly. So